Welcome to the ripple effect of love for dads and families. Today, we celebrate your success. So, let me just come online. Here we go. What is it that you are celebrating? Did you know that the brain needs you to take time to celebrate in order to register the information and in order to create more successes in your life? How many of us really take the time to just pause and reflect on what it is that we need to celebrate? So we will start by let's reflect on your wins and how Snap Tap Zap has helped you lead with more love. It's not always easy. It's chaotic. I was just reading a post by a dad. And yes, it is challenging to raise beautiful kids, to raise mindful kids, to raise them from a place of love instead of old habits. So today we're taking time to just take a nice deep breath in, relax the shoulders, there we go, and exhale. Think about your week, or think about when you started this journey with me. And what is it that you're proud of? What is it that you're proud of? It doesn't need to be big things. Are you proud that you failed and picked up your Snap Tap Zap to be able to to recalm yourself, to reground yourself, to go back to that place of calmness? And maybe you did need to apologize to your children, but being transparent in our journey with our children teaches them as well how they can be transparent on their journey, how they can show up in life from a place of love instead of from a place of hurt. And we all know today that when we hurt, we turn to things that actually are not good for us. Yeah, kind of sad to say, but it is a truth. Whether we turn to perfectionism, whether we turn to, I'm not saying perfectionism is bad, but over perfectionism, doing good quality work is excellent. But the perfectionism can be a way to make you feel safe, that safety that you don't have, that you didn't have growing up. And your parents didn't know how to self regulate and they were unable to teach you. So you're here because you need to be here. You're here because you're starting to understand more and more the power of celebrating your success. I'm celebrating the fact that I went outside for a small walk. Well, actually, shoveling is a walk, right? When you shovel the snow, it's exercise at the same time. But I needed to get out before I had lunch and hopped on the live, and it did me a world of good. Sometimes we need physical exercise in order to calm the whole nervous system. Sometimes we need to be in nature to calm our nervous system. When was the last time you took your kiddos or your teens out for a hike in nature or a walk or do you want to add that to your schedule and see when you can make that happen? It doesn't need to be a full day. It can be just a half hour. If you live in the city, going to the park can be nice. Sometimes, if you only have a half hour, make sure you set the boundaries before you go. You can set the timer with your child, show them, okay, we have 20 minutes. They might want to run to the park with you, right? And then when the timer goes, let them press the stop button so that they can see. And then you can come back, run back, make it a challenge. There's all these beautiful ideas. So, taking another nice deep breath in, put your hands over your heart and congratulate yourself for some of those wins that you have had today. Soak that in. Just like going out in the sun or on a sunny, warm day in the shade, whichever is best. Here with the snow, when it's sunny, it feels nice and warm. You can feel the sun heating up your face while the rest of the cold air, is protected by your winter clothes. But it feels good. If you like water, going in the water feels good. Sometimes we need to see these images to register. If you were taught that you're not allowed to pause to celebrate your successes, your wins, or every time that you went to your parents to tell them they had something negative to say, they criticized something. So let's snap or clap. Breathe in as you scan your body. How does it feel when you say, hey, today I'm celebrating my successes? Because I'm certain you've had little ones. They can be all very tiny. It does not matter how big they are. They just need to be successes you're proud of. Not your parents, not your neighbors, you personally. And that is self love. And self love is so important. Why am I calming the nervous system down right now in the survival mode? Because when we calm our nervous system and our survival mode, we are accepting in the privilege, the right, the possibility of feeling the successes that we have accomplished this week. Welcome, Christian. I am so glad you were able to make it today, and hopefully your son is doing better. Yay!
Yeah,
So nice to hear. So nice
you
to hear.
know, jumping into, and I didn't read the topic for today, so if you did send it, I apologize.
No, it's
Celebrating your,
okay. Yeah, I didn't send it. It's let's reflect on our wins and how Snap Tap Zap has helped us lead with love this week.
yeah, so that's been, and I haven't seen Christine yet back, so we're on this track, and I'm on again a bit of a self development, further turbo, if you will. um, Not
Aren't we
just
all, Christian? Aren't we all?
no, 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 and that's where I wanted to jump in. That's where I wanted to
Okay,
jump in
go for
because
it. Yes,
because
because we all have our journey. Some of
see,
us are
that's it.
ready,
Yes,
and some of us are
yes,
just starting to think
yes,
about it, right?
yes, yes. So that's where I want to equip because we've talked about the high performers. We've talked about, again, you're climbing that ladder. So what does that really celebrate your success mean? And again, some of
Yeah.
you folks are professionals or accountants, collectors. There's a couple of things that you guys can just go to celebrating your success. And here's going to be the snap moment, okay? Because what I've learned in training and in things that I've done for sales and marketing and otherwise is you have to still have the, let's break out of the thought process.
Yes.
Now, here it is. The successes that we've gotten this week from the ABCs of human, the
I love
ABCs of
that.
human,
ABCs of humanhood. It's beautiful.
because things are piled on, things are handed to, okay? And again, so we say these are the ABCs. So we understand that the pile was dropped.
Mhm.
We can sort through at our pace.
Yes.
Nobody can tell you. Now people can, and of course bosses and partners and spouses and children, and oh, there is a demand, absolutely.
Yes.
However, if you don't feel like it, we've done this before. I'm just gonna do it, and I'm gonna just show you that it's just not gonna work the way that you're telling me, but I'm gonna do it anyways. It's not gonna work,
Yeah.
and it's gonna be difficult. And so we start looking at the patterns, but we're not breathing, we're
Hmm.
not tapping. So we've literally just allowed that hijacking train. Remember the deceitful liar that failure is not the end. The
Yeah.
deceitful liars, we've let them, everything else that's outside of you is a deceitful thought because that's not true.
Hmm.
Now, how we can calm and regain our alignment and or our focus and our ability to go, yes,
Yeah.
son, yes, I know you're in a lot of pain. The doctor said ruptured eardrums, infection, plus
Mm.
the fevers. So there's a lot going on in his little body. For
Yes.
me, I still almost started going and like how I can help you in the frustration, but I knew that that's not what I needed when I was sick.
Hmm.
That is not how I wanted to be treated when I don't feel well. That's now how I want to be talked to when
Hmm.
I just feel oh my god.
Miserable.
So I fill that in because I want you to at any point, and we've talked about this, you don't have to change it. But if
No.
you can become aware, if you can say, ooh, I didn't like that, or I don't like how, or maybe as parents we say something to our child, spouse, partner, or even boss, and then we go, ooh, that didn't really sit very well.
Yeah.
Or we stand up for ourselves and we say, hey, I'm going to Johnny, Susie, boss, partner. Hey, I'm going to do it. I got this. And then you say, hey, I'm standing up. I handle that. And you say, well, that still had a tone to it. That had this. Listen, again, I'm not here to gauge. I'm not here to measure. I'm not here to judge. We're definitely all we're saying is if you just stop anytime and you make a great step. You've already taken it. You
Yes.
literally are doing
Yes.
something different than you
Yes.
did it
Yes.
before. You are
Yes.
literally evolving. You are literally
Yes.
walking and taking the steps. And you go, well, I skirted back. Why, that's phenomenal. I'm glad that you understood that you were going on a path that you liked, that
Yes.
felt good, that
Yeah.
connected. And
Yeah.
here's the beautiful part, because I like to get that passion, but now I can
Hmm.
control that passion and use it more when I want to. Just and I said to him because this morning he woke up really so not too much tidbits, but here we go. And so he started with a little bit of friction. So I had to calm, and I said, "You're not breathing. We're not tapping." And he's so
Oh, can I
upset.
just pause there? You said we are not tapping. We. And that is essential because your child becomes a team player with you in the solution to communicating in a way that is good for both of you, right? And
Yeah.
he's learning from you, Christian. He is
Thank you.
learning. I need to self regulate just like dad does. And there's a part of his brain that's not conscious, but there's a part of his brain that is saying something like, this has worked for my dad. Maybe it'll work for me. And when you asked him to do the snap, tap, zap with you, did he start doing it?
He started to do it his way, and I'm gonna jump in. And as you
Perfect.
mentioned,
Yes.
the we went with
Yes.
the we. So I'm gonna backtrack because you said, Christian, your
Okay.
son was sick. So why are you saying that you did not want to and you don't want to be spoken to that way when you're sick? We're not talking about you, Christian. Oh no, but we are. And we're
Yes.
talking about each and every one of you.
Yes.
You are the primary. And until you can learn to calm down and then understand, oh, wait a minute, I was talked to that way when I was a child and I didn't feel.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
And so then you mirror what you have been taught, what is ingrained, what has worked, right? To
Yes. Well,
settle
worked,
down.
and I like the quotation marks. What was perceived as working, right?
Yes,
And a lot of the stuff that we do, we are not necessarily conscious of it.
that's it. And it doesn't make us happy. So I want to make sure that that's where we kind of
Yes.
tag and we talked about the pile and we talked about sorting it. Well,
Yes.
now you're able to sit in front of the pile and sort
Yes.
at your pace. But you didn't
Yes.
even know there was a pile. You couldn't even see the pile because you're so busy going like this and you're wanting demand and you're and other things and you're just going, yeah, I'm gonna get to that. 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 So we understand,
And your
and there's
energy
nothing wrong.
is and your energy is on, I'm going to get to that. If you took that time, which took about a minute to say, I'm going to get to that, I'm going to get to that, and you just imagine how much calmer you would be. And your brain would already be looking at. So I want to congratulate you again that you have that awareness now that there's all these piles, right? But as you self regulate, you're like, hey, just a second. Which item on this pile is best for me right now that I need to look at? If anybody was able to do that this week, yay! Like,
Even if
congratulations.
you weren't, even if
Yeah,
you weren't,
even
if
if
you
you
were
weren't.
aware of it, if
Yes,
you made yourself aware of it an hour later, a day later, 2 days later, 3 days
it
later,
doesn't
four,
matter.
that it doesn't matter. That's
It doesn't
progress.
matter. It
That's
can
work.
be a month later and it doesn't matter. Sometimes the awareness comes for a second or two and then we let it go because it's kind of scary, because we
So
don't
I'm
want to
gonna pause
believe.
there. I'm gonna
Yeah,
pause right there because I have a
go for
real
it.
time as I was teaching and talking to him about breathing and tapping. I
Yes,
was not doing it. I was doing it
uh,
internally because I am now, yes, at that level.
it's
So
okay.
that goes to the first part where we said,
Yeah,
well, not just because Christian is on and everybody is on this turbo. No. And I want to make sure that we are understanding that you're going to go at your pace. That's why
yes,
professionals, okay,
yes,
in their field and in each industry we have professionals, but it's also at your pace. We talked about what makes you feel good. We talked about what even accomplishments. We talked about at the speed or level that you feel comfortable and that you're actually doing it. So I was breathing. I wasn't yelling. I wasn't being loud. I was self-regulated internally, but I was telling him and I kept telling him and I kept repeating it. So I said, and I did it for a reason. I
yeah,
said, this whole time, this was only maybe 2, 3 minutes. I said, you haven't, like you said, we haven't been doing the breathing and tapping. So I started and I said, yes, I know you're not. I know we're not. So let us
two
do it.
minutes wrap up.
Yeah.
We got this.
Yeah. Oh, 10:20. Oh, we're 10 minutes ahead, but okay. So what I was saying is as I started doing it and mirroring him and reminding him, now things were starting to come up. He goes, well, Dad, how can I count to 5 if I'm tapping? How can I? And so these different things, but he started calming down, and logically, he started calming down. And I said, we're not going to argue. We're not going to yell. I'm asking you to do something that's going to help you. So in order for me to help you, you got to do what I'm doing and what I'm asking you to do. I aligned with his logical part of the brain because that's where he was. But
Yes.
the emotional part, I was looking at him, I was tending to him, and then I asked him if I can give him a hug because not only did he self regulate on his own, not only, yes, I helped him, but I didn't hold
And
him
that's
there.
okay. And that's
Exactly, because I did it at the level where I was comfortable because I'm also breaking down the, well, come here, come hug you and smother you, and it's going to be okay. Because I want him to be equipped with the self regulation tools that he
yes,
is going to need in life, not
yes,
to wait till he's 30 or 40 or 50 or
yes,
60 or 70 or
yes,
80, because
yes,
it doesn't matter. We can always work on ourselves. So
yes,
I pegged that from the beginning, connecting the dots, and I say celebrate your successes that mean really for your priorities. And if it means just rearranging your priorities, that's okay too, because we have ladders that we're climbing and we're successful. But that may not be the priority when you get home. So we can put down that pile. It doesn't exist. Now we got a mound of fun. You'll
yes,
get there.
yes.
Blessings. Great to be here and support each and every one of you. Leave us in the comments your wins, challenges, maybe something you were made aware of. And I say, and I connect the dots because I said, I don't want to be made feel that way, because sometimes when I feel sick, it's only
Mm,
for a short time,
yes,
but I do feel that way. I don't want people nagging at me. I don't want people scolding me. I don't, and so that's why I say, so therefore, I don't do that. And I don't mirror what I was taught or what I was perceived to. I now understand, hey, that doesn't feel good. I can change that.
yes. And acknowledging, beautiful, your progress is a powerful step toward building momentum for lasting change. So keep building on that momentum, Christian, with your beautiful kids, with your spouse, in your business, with people that you are interacting in. And please do share, what success are you celebrating this week? Let's cheer for each other, because supporting each other, creating this community. I had somebody write, oh, I wasn't sure how this would be handled. Oh, beautiful. I'm glad you shared. This is what it's about. It's about sharing, it's about being transparent with one another and just embracing who we are best we can. You know, when we start the journey, sometimes it's a little rough to embrace it. However, you are on the journey, and that is commendable. Congratulations. And we will see you next week. So take great care of yourself. And I can't wait to see you next week. If you just joined us, go back to the beginning. We started in December. We're on episode, I think, 25 today. So
Hmm.
we've done
That's what your
25.
title says. Yep. Celebrate
Yeah.
your success. And I'm going to make a big, 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 big celebrate your success. If you feel like you failed, that celebrate it.
Yes.
Celebrate it.
Yes.
Celebrate it. Because
Yes.
you have now understood, "Boop, that's not how I want to be."
Mm-hmm.
Whoa, that's rebirth. That's growth. That's
Yes.
understanding. And I have a secret little thing that I'm going to share where I'm going to prove. And if you've heard of Bruce Lee, a
Yes.
phenomenal martial artist, where he
Yes.
said, flow like water. I'm going to
Yes.
tell you, It's actually nature, and I have a foolproof trunk and roots that I'm going to explain and display that. It's actually nature, and nature flows over bricks, over obstacles. It's
Yes.
so unique. I'm going to
Yes.
leave you guys with that.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Christian. And have a great weekend. If you need support this weekend, make sure that you take time to go in nature. Go back and see some of the other recordings. You can find me on YouTube. So have a great weekend and celebrate your successes just by acknowledging them.